Good evening and welcome to VTV News. I'm Charlop.
And I'm Sophie Jeong. A judge's ruling on a former Vanderbilt football player's 15-year sentence will stand. Corey Beatty was found guilty in the gang rape of an unconscious fellow student. Recently, 11 people sent letters in support of Beatty to the judge. Still, Judge Monty Watkins denied a second hearing. He says he was not biased when he handed down the minimum sentence acceptable. Also, co-defendant Brandon Vandenberg's Friday sentencing has been delayed. His legal team filed documents in advance of the sentencing hearing. The team was granted a continuance to have time to review them. After trial in June, Vandenberg was found guilty on numerous counts of rape and sexual battery. He faces 15 to 25 years in prison, and his new sentencing date is November 4th.
This past Saturday, SACE and VPB put on the annual Garba celebration in the Student Life Center. With the story, here's VTV News reporter Swathi Ganesh.
On Saturday night, hundreds of Vandy students came out to Garba to enjoy authentic food, high-energy dancing, and the professional henna station. Garba itself is a form of high-energy dance that originated in the state of Gujarat in India and is usually performed during the 9-day Hindu festival Navratri. Participants often dance in a circle around the Hindu deity Durga, to whom the festival is dedicated. This past Saturday night featured this style of dance and was characterized by lots of colorful clothing, happy faces, and sore legs, but definitely left attendees satisfied after a night of cultural fun. This has been Swathi Ganesh reporting for VTV News. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Swathi.
Election season is in full swing and is a hot topic on campus.
Last week's Chancellor's Lecture Series provided students an opportunity to know more about this year's election. The lecture featured New York Times columnist David Brooks and distinguished visiting professor John Mitchum along with Chancellor Zeppos. On his comment about Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump, Brooks said Trump is the wrong answer to the right question. Brooks also said the key debate now is between those who feel the tailwinds of globalization and meritocracy at their back, pushing them forward toward opportunity, and those who feel the headwinds in their face, destroying their communities.
Vanderbilt has a new building on campus. The Wandry is at the heart of the new Innovation Center on campus. The new center is part of the Academic Strategy Plan, a vision to merge the benefits of a liberal arts college with the merits of a top research university. The 4 key programs available at the Wandry are the Innovation Garage, Social Entrepreneurship, Innovation Culture, and Entrepreneur Pre-Flight. When asked about the new center, Chancellor Zeppos said, "The Wandry at the Innovation Pavilion builds upon that most basic instinct by fostering collaboration across Vanderbilt's vibrant intellectual tapestry to explore new ways to benefit humanity in measures both small and large." The Wandry is located in the Innovation Pavilion, adjacent to Vanderbilt's new Engineering and Science building.
A Vanderbilt graduate student has been invited to the White House. On October 7, Allison Patzemir will talk with senior officials about gun reform policy. She's one of 8 students invited to the event. Patzemir was invited because of her Guns Out campaign. The project was to protest efforts to allow concealed weapons on college campuses. Patzemir says she understands the need to feel armed and safe and feels leaders need to deal with the roots of the problem. Overall, she hopes to give her opinions on steps the government could take to reform gun laws.
The Classical Studies major has just undergone an extreme makeover. Professor Joseph Wright of the Classical and Mediterranean Studies Department has founded this new program. Classical and Mediterranean Studies aims to create new opportunities to explore the Mediterranean region. While ancient Greek and Roman culture will be studied, the new program will also focus on the present day.
Colleges across the nation are helping students find an emotional safe space on campus to express themselves. How is this national conversation affecting Vanderbilt? VTV News lead field reporter Claire Burnett has the story.
Good evening, I'm Claire Barnett with VTV News. I'm here on Peabody Lawn to investigate the issue of college campuses as safe spaces. A safe space is a place where certain words, phrases, or topics aren't allowed to be discussed because they can be considered offensive to certain people groups. Proponents of safe spaces say that they prevent marginalized and often minority groups from experiencing further discrimination. Opponents feel that they prevent investigation and conversation regarding important political and social issues both on campus and in the greater society.
The first question we have to ask is safe for whom, right? When you think about safe spaces, I like the idea of brave spaces where you can not only talk about things that are of great importance for different groups that are not often talked about, but you can talk about it with an authentic voice.
I think one of the pros is it allows people to feel comfortable in the position that they're in, whereas maybe back at home they would get a lot of questions. But at the same time, it creates a level of hypersensitivity.
I think safe spaces can have a positive impact on the development of an individual. I think it's important that people grow up in areas where they can feel safe. But I don't know that it's good on a societal level to adopt this culture of victimhood, because in the end, when these individuals go out into the real world, they're not going to be in a safe space for their entire career.
For Vanderbilt students, it seems that the verdict is still out on safe spaces. Important protection or stumbling block? It's up to you to decide. Now, back to the VTV News Desk.
Thanks, Claire. Now for this week's sports news, here's VTV News sports correspondent Madison Foglio.
Hi, I'm Madison Foglio, and here's a quick update on Vanderbilt sports. Vanderbilt men's basketball scored big this week as one of the nation's top centers, Ejike Obinna, announced his verbal commitment to the Commodores on Sunday via Instagram. The addition of Obinna pushed the 2017 Vanderbilt recruiting class into the top 25, the first-ranked class under Coach Bryce Drew, according to 247 Sports. Obinna will be joining 6'1" guard Saban Lee and 6'2" guard Maxwell Evans, who verbally committed to Vanderbilt over the summer. Huge weekend for Vanderbilt football as the Commodores beat Western Kentucky University 31-30. At the end of the first quarter, WKU was up 7-0 over the Commodores. By halftime, WKU was still up 14-7. Quarterback Kyle Schumer was 7 for 14 with 54 yards by halftime. Third quarter, the Commodores tied it up 14-14. And by the end of the fourth quarter, the score was still tied at 24-24. Into overtime, Vanderbilt scores a touchdown, making the score 30-24, followed up by an open shot kick, making it 31-24. WKU comes back with a touchdown, making the score 31-30. But then WKU tries to go for the two-point conversion, but the ball is tipped at the line, and the Commodores take the win at 31-30 as the final. This Sunday, October 2nd, the Vanderbilt women's basketball team is holding an open practice at Memorial Gym. All fans are invited to come, watch, and cheer on their Lady Commodores, as it marks the beginning of their season. The practice will follow with pictures and autographs from the first-year head coach, Stephanie White, and the rest of the players. Doors will be open at 2 p.m. and are asked to enter through the Southeast Gym lobby to get to the gym. Parking will be offered in 25th Avenue Garage at no cost. The Vanderbilt women's lacrosse team is off to the University of Louisville for this weekend to participate in their third fall ball play day of the season. The Commodores will depart tomorrow on Friday, September 30th at 2:30 p.m. On Saturday, Commodores will face number 9 Louisville, followed by James Madison University at the end of the tournament facing fellow Big East opponent Marquette University. The Commodores will conclude their fall ball season October 15th at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. That's all for tonight on Sports Updates. Make sure to go to the football game this Saturday at 11 a.m. where Vandy takes on the Florida Gators. I'm Madison Foglio for VTV News.
Thanks, Madison. Now for this week's weather, here's VTV News weather correspondent Swathi Ganesh.
Good evening, I'm Swathi Ganesh here with your weekly weather update. This week we can finally pull out those sweaters and cardigans to enjoy the beginning of fall weather as temperatures dip into the mid-50s with a high in the 70s. Our temperatures this weekend and on into next week are expected to reach up into the 80s with lows in the mid-50s and 60s. Luckily though, after today, you probably won't be needing your umbrella anytime soon, as the skies are expected to be mostly sunny into the next week. For VTV News, I'm Swathi Ganesh.
That's all for tonight's broadcast. Thanks for watching VTV News. I'm Sophie Jeong.
And I'm Diana Charlop. Tune in next week for more top stories.